Hey, this is the first real challenge of the 2024 Holiday Hacks Challenge. I couldn't really decide on the music, so I left the background as 2024, but I have still the music with the nice Caribbean tunes mixed with Christmas ones. And this challenge is a rather easy and quick one. The difficulty level is 1. Even the hard part of the challenge, I think, is fairly straightforward. I think when I worked on the challenge, I solved it first the hard way, and then I did the easy way. At least I went through the easy way steps. So the easy way for these games, because this is one of the 2 games, is to just play through the game without any shenanigans and any cheating. And the hard mode is, of course, either exploiting misconfiguration or a poorly done part of the game, which we'll see it in the next challenge, or simply just exploiting it and manipulating the client-side variables. This is the challenge that we're looking at. The Elf Connect challenge is just going to require you to fire up developer tools. You do not need any interception proxy like burp or OS zap. You just simply take the browser and open the developer tools, manipulate the game, and you will be able to solve the hard challenge. But first, let's see the easy challenge part. I made a little mistake here. I actually managed to fix the music, and I realized what was wrong with the music. I had the Firefox browser with burp enabled, and the site was that I'm using to play music it was just not going through. So I made here one mistake because I talked to Angel Candy Salt already. I'm going to click through the conversation here very fast. So Candy Salt is a character from the previous year's game, and they are telling us about this Elf Connect game. I am not really familiar with the New York Times Connect game, but this is a replica of that game. The idea is that you have groups and you get these cards with words on it, and you need to group the words into these groups. In the Elf Connect game, you have 4 groups that you need to find and 4 rounds altogether. You need to achieve a certain amount of points to accomplish the game, which is, I think you get 400 points per game per round, and altogether you have to have 1,600 points for the 4 rounds. That's it. This is the easy mode of the game, and you get some guidance from the elf for the easy mode and for the hard mode. Now the hard mode is to beat the high score, and someone managed to get 50,000 points. Random elf is the name of the player, and we're not really sure how they done that, but we have to find it out and beat their score. That's the hard challenge. First, let's the easy one, which is really just finding these groups. I cheated here as well, obviously. I'm not really good with this game, apparently. I tried to solve it the original intended way, and I was having a really hard time trying to find the logic behind the groupings. I do have an argument on whether these groupings are good or not, but it doesn't really matter, because if you can't figure it out, well, you can always cheat. So let's see a kind of a mix, but going through the easy method. So if you fire up the terminal here, it will open up the game, and you'll have the explanation. You have to play 4 rounds. You are presented with 16 words, and in each round you need to find 4 groups, and altogether you will get 100 points for each grouping, and you have 4 groups for 4 rounds, meaning that the overall score that you can achieve in the game and kind of beat the game is 1,600. That's the idea. Very easy stuff. And here you have in the first round some Christmas related terms, and you have to find these groups. Now you can struggle through it, or see another way. So I'm going to hit Ctrl-Shift-I here to open up the developer tools. And I'm just going to check for the challenge URL. And I like to open the challenges in a separate tab, because this makes it easier to manipulate, and this should work. So I know some people try to struggle here and try to beat the challenges in the terminal window. I find that one much harder when it comes to manipulating client-side data, or well, actually by client to server transactions as well. So I do recommend opening up a separate tab here and do the same thing here as well. Do Ctrl-Shift-I and just look at the application code, because this one, oh, that's cookies, not what I wanted. Let me just think, because I just keep changing from Firefox to Chrome and vice versa. So normally what I'm looking for is the code for the game, but in a nice formatted way. Okay, this is good enough. So in Firefox, actually, it was not displaying this nicely. So the whole page's code, you will be able to find it here. And you should be able to find the same thing under sources. I'm not really sure why is it not loading. Maybe I just need to reload it or something. You can give it a try. Yeah, so it should work as well. So it doesn't matter which way you're doing it. The important part is that you see here the HTML code, and there's also a part inside script tags, which is the game logic itself. And I know this is kind of small, so let me try to zoom in here and get some real estate. We'll need the console later, so I'm gonna leave it here under the sources part. Makes it easier for me instead of jumping back and forth between the application code and the console. We'll just use this view here. So the code here, if you just browse through it, you immediately will see some very obvious things here. So these terms that appear on the cards are also stored under the word set, and you see the 4 rounds here and all the cards, and the correct sets are displayed here. So these are just arrays, fairly easy to let me just get this side to the minimum here, so we have more real estate and we see the almost the full length of the chains here. And what you have to do is really just interpret the code. So you can see here that under correct sets, the first element, index 0, is tinsel. So if I find that card, then the next one will be a 5. So this was 0, 1. We're indexing from 0 because it's a nice programming language. JavaScript indexes from 0. There are some programming languages that index from 1, like Lua, for example, but everyone has a preference. I know. I think indexing from 0 is always much more beneficial. The way we create loops or the way we think, we usually prefer to start counting from 0. If you don't believe me, see how many people mistakenly thought that the year 2000 was the turn of the millennia, which is wrong, because years we start counting them from 1, and I think that confuses a lot of people. So we have tinsel, sleigh, Belafonte is 2, 3, 4, 5 should be garland. Just double check though if this is correct. Yes, so garland. And I'm not gonna go through all of it. I'm just giving you the idea here. Afterwards, I'm just going to click through and show you the actual solution that I noted down. So that was 5 for garland. Now we need to find the 11th one. So that was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th is star. And then 14 is 11, 12, 13, and lights. Where is lights? Ah, there it is. And as you group 4 cards together, you see that the score value changed to 100, and you have these cards now taken out from these groupings. And you need to continue the same way, so you would go for 1, being here Slay. I'm just going to do 1 more to make sure that everyone understands it. Then 3, so that's 2, 3, bag. And this grouping I do get, like this is some Santa related stuff, but for example, I think the 7th one, that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is mittens. Okay, I still understand that one. And then 9, gifts. Okay, well, I kind of get okay with this one here. And so on and so forth. So you would have to continue here from set number 3. The second one was Pelafond. Then 6th, so that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is Jingle Bells. Then 11, where were we? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's Crosby. And then White Christmas. And for the last group, it's fairly easy because, well, there's no other possibilities left. So these are all in one group. And this means round 1 is complete, and we have now 400 scores. Now you have to continue the same way and keep on working through the chains, the groups, and the sets are always going to be in the same combination. They're just randomly going to throw out these cards, but you always have to pick from the same ordered arrays. So let me just summarize here very quickly how that would work. So what you need to copy here is, I wonder if I can do that. Right, no problem. Then I will copy it from my notes. So you have these 2 arrays, or well, this is more of a dictionary, and then inside there's an array. So you need to always look at the appropriate array and then the sets, and you can create the following solution guide basically. So for round 1, we already did that. Round 2 will be mmap, netcat, wireshark, and nessus for the first groups, and so on and so forth. So we will continue the same way for the rest of the rounds as well. You just have to go through first this array in these orders, and then the next one and the final one. That's it. This is going to be the easy version of the challenge. Very, very straightforward. I'm also going to close this one now. So the next round's first group is mmap, netcat, wireshark, and nessus. Then we have burp, ovasp zap, nicto, and wfuzz. These are web application penetration testing tools. These are more network pen test tools. Then we have Frida script. I've been told that this is how we pronounce it, so it's not script, but script is the pronunciation, if I'm not mistaken. These are mobile application testing tools. And then we have some D2 frameworks like Empire, Cobalt Strike, Havoc, which is what the cool kids use these days, I've been told, and Metasploit. All right, I think this is the only round where I probably would have been able to solve it without cheating. Well, okay, the next couple of rounds as well. I think round 1 is kind of challenging in this one, but if you're a nerd, then these ones shouldn't be a problem. So the next one is starting with AES, RSA, Blowfish, and Triple Dash. All right. Then we have WEP, WPA2, PKIP, and LEAP. So encryption methods, encryption algorithms, encryption algorithms, but for wireless networks. And then we have symmetric, asymmetric, hash, and hybrid. So these are different type of cryptographic systems or functions. And then some different type of ciphers: Caesar, one-time pad, Cyctel, and Altendorf. This last two, I don't even know, but it doesn't matter. Now the order obviously doesn't matter. The reason why I go in the in a specific order is because of the arrays. But for the rest group, I didn't look what was the actual order because it doesn't matter. So there you can just go and click in any order that you like. All right, let's see these protocols next. We have ICMP, EX, IP, and IGMP. Then some encryption protocols: TLS, SSL, IPsec, and SSH. And some layer 2 Ethernet, PPP, IEEE X, IEEE 800 2.11, and then the last one is kind of arguably ARP, not necessarily layer 2, but like layer 2.5, I would say. And then some application layer protocols. Here the order doesn't matter, so just go in the order of the appearance of the cards. Okay, so once you've done that, and if you go back to the original game, you should see the little message for the achievement. You can close the terminal here. And you shall see under achievements now the silver Elf Connect challenge completed. And if you go under objectives, now you have a silver trophy for this one. So if you talk again to the elf, then Angel will tell you that the hard version of the challenge is to beat the high score. Wonder if I do a Ctrl-Shift-R. Yeah, it just loads from the previous round. Okay, we're going to close it and get the URL again. I prefer, like I said, for this manipulation, definitely use a separate tab and open the terminal. Now going back here, under the game, we see some additional variables defined here. Probably the most important one is our score value. Sorry. So this one here, I'm not able to highlight that one. Ooh, and now I'm thinking just reloading everything, making sure that I'm not making any crazy mistakes. So the score value, score is currently 0. This is a variable that is just out here. So under this tag, I should be able to access it from anywhere. Score is a variable that if you go to the console, should give you a 0. But we can assign any value to this. So what if I assign 21,000, for example? That should be the 20,000 high score. So we'll see how that updates the score value as we progress. Let's do Tinsel, Garland, Star, and Lights again. So now I'm actually getting the 100 point on top. So we updated the score value and now all those rounds will add to it. We need to play a full round, but the game logic only checks the score total value. So if we play this round, we should already have the 1,600 points. We don't need to play the rest of the rounds. And that is the hard part of the challenge, which in my opinion is still pretty easy, but that's not a problem. I mean, this is the first challenge for the game. So Slay, Bag, mittens, and gifts. Then we had Belafonte, Crosby, I do remember. I think this is the one where we have White Christmas and Jingle Bells. And then the rest of the cards. And here, it's not only round 1 complete, but we also won the game. And we missed the notification, but we now have the gold version of the challenge under the achievements. And if you go to objectives, now you can see that they have a gold trophy. So the easy version of this challenge is, I think, taking a lot more time than doing the hard version. It's up to you which one you take as an approach. If you want to have both achievements, just a word of caution, you have to do it both ways. If you just do the hard one, you're only going to see the gold one. So for a full solution, I believe, and a full solution guide, if you would like to submit at the end of the Holiday Hack Challenge, you should have both ways documented and achieved, because I consider that one a full solution for the challenges. But maybe gold is enough for the creators. I'm not really sure. I think it's fun to do the easy way and then do it the hard way. The next one will be Elfminder 9000, which on paper is a 1 difficulty challenge. We'll see. The hard one is a little bit more challenging. So that was all for this first challenge, which on paper is the second objective, but the Elf Connect challenge is basically just looking at the JavaScript code, understanding the JavaScript code, and then do one simple manipulation to get to the high score. There are probably other ways to achieve this. Like you could also mess around how many points you get for one single round. So if you change that part of the logic, basically after one single group you could win the game, I guess. I haven't tested it, but hey, why don't you try it out? But if you want to see how the next challenge is solved, then please go to the next video. And again, I would like to remind you that we have other solutions and other content on the channel. So if you don't want to miss the next set of video solutions released for Act 1, which is going to be released in a little bit less than an hour, then subscribe to the channel and get the notifications with the bell icon. Let's go and see Elfminder 9000 next.